frontier, a physical or statutory line that separates one country from another. Behind each frontier, a town blooms. In Latin America today, there are almost 18,000 frontier towns. Their exponential growth is due to commercial exchange, whether legal or not. In most cases, they are tied to illicit trade. Smuggling, narcotics, weapons, and people. In each of these frontier towns, there are thousands of stories, people that risk a portion of their capital. Others are used by criminal organizations as part of large-scale smuggling. These are Latin American hot borders. Border between Brazil and Paraguay. Friendship International Bridge unites Foz de Iguaçu in Brazil with Ciudad del Este in Paraguay. The border crossing contains a great amount of commercial activity. That every year represents $2 billion in both legal and illegal commerce. Ciudad del Este is a duty-free zone, and the prices here are attractive to shopping tourists and passers-by and laranjas due to low prices with no taxes. Two elderly Brazilian women are searched while they are in a bus headed back from Ciudad del Este, Paraguay.
Presta o documento da senhora. Documento. Vamos descer aqui, me acompanhar? Em abordagem no ônibus de linha, né? As duas senhoras estavam com mercadorias que estavam acima da cota de isenção.
Não sei como que ela mandou nós ficar aqui. Não sei o que ela vai fazer com nós. Nós estamos trabalhando. Porque uma cota de $300 paga R$20, mas para nós que está sem emprego já ajuda, né?
A senhora vai ser encaminhada para pagar o imposto, tá?
Por quê? Qual o valor disso aqui?
Ele excede a cota de isenção. Toda a mercadoria delas foi lacrada e encaminhada para verificação. Se elas não tiverem cota, elas teriam que recolher o imposto sobre toda a mercadoria, sem direito à isenção dos $300. Senão, elas têm direito à isenção.
The officer is explaining the process to the camera when she suddenly looks surprised. Something serious is happening. Border between Colombia and Ecuador. Over 800 vehicles pass through Rumichaca International Bridge daily. Many of them are transporting nutritional products from Ecuador to be sold in the street fairs of Ipiales in Colombia with no sanitary control. One woman is detained with her son after the officers discover a large quantity of illegal Ecuadorian bananas that are not fit for exportation.
No, doña. Ustedes están enseñando.
No se puede pasar, dicen ellos, dicen.
The woman begs the agents to let her through and offers a bribe, an economic one. The officer, bothered by her insinuation, asks for documentation.
A mí todo mundo me conoce, yo vendo en el mercado.
While she was waiting, knowing her merchandise will be taken away from her, she begins to plot something with her son.
Yo vendo raleado, pero son rechazos, no es banano exportado, es rechazo. Y esto es de lo único que yo puedo sostener a mis hijos. Ya nos vamos.
In a moment of carelessness, while the officers are busy, her son flees in the truck with the merchandise.
De un momento a otro mandó al otro señor a que se la llevara. Y se volaron, se fugó. Por las buenas, vaya hágame traer la camioneta.
Nos dimos la vuelta porque no podemos estar pierde y pierde. Siempre uno es el que cae y cae y cae. No me importa lo que sea, no me importa si me detienen, no me importa nada, pero mis hijos tienen que salir adelante. Yo no puedo dejar a mis hijos sin comer y robar tampoco puedo. Pues así me toca jugármela, ¿qué más?
Her sacrifice means that the merchandise might reach its destination and be able to have an income for a while longer. The job of the customs agents are to protect the health of the whole population. It's a common occurrence here, the need of the people conflicting with the law. Border between Brazil and Paraguay. In Foz do Iguaçu customs post, two elderly Brazilian women that are coming from Paraguay are found with electronic merchandise that were not legally declared at customs office.
Nós está trabalhando. Porque uma cota de $300 paga R$20, mas para nós que está sem emprego já ajuda, né?
Meanwhile, something is happening on platform 2. Two men in a taxi are stopped by the military police when a large quantity of marijuana is found inside the trunk of the car.
Fiscalização de rotina, vinha táxi, estava pouco nervoso ele. Eu fui abrir a mala, eu reparei que tinha uns tabletes de maconha e de imediato a gente deu voz de prisão para ele.
The 30-year-old taxi driver watches on with his hands behind his head as the police take the drugs. The young passenger is put in handcuffs and taken into custody.
Um menor de idade foi parado aqui agora e foi flagrado agora com essa quantidade de maconha dentro da bolsa, dentro do táxi aqui. Desconfiaram, pararam o carro, prisão. Exército, o DPFRON também está aqui, a Polícia Militar, né? Estamos aqui hoje e conseguimos pegar essa quantidade de maconha com menor de idade. Está sem documento, mas ele disse que tem 16 anos.
Drug traffickers tend to use minors 16 years and younger to traffic their drugs because the penalty for trafficking is less than 2 years and they are served in a halfway facility.
É muito comum na fronteira as pessoas tentarem atravessar com drogas em malas, em bagagens. É muito comum. E principalmente menores de idade. Agora ele vai ser encaminhado para a Polícia Federal, para as medidas cabíveis.
Dice que ya está en mi parada de espera ya. Llegó taxi, sí, adelante. Era mi vez de salida. Esa cagada ahí. ¿Quién iba a imaginar? Ya salí perdiendo hoy. ¿Quién me va a pagar? No sé si, ¿cómo va a resolver acá? No sé si me va a dar problemas, no sé.
The taxi driver denies any relationship to the contraband, claiming to only have picked up the passenger and his luggage to cross the border.
Agora nós vamos pesar e encaminhá-lo para a Polícia Federal.
While the taxi driver is taken to be questioned, the drug is weighed inside the facility.
Vou pesar em duas etapas, 24.890, essa nota para mim? 45.570 gramas. Saindo da fronteira, o valor é de custo. Chegando nos grandes centros, o valor é superior.
Mas quando a gente pega, a gente comemora, né? Porque quando eles passam, eles também comemoram.
Agora é a época em que eles estão a safra, alta produção, então teoricamente o preço baixa, porque a oferta é maior do produto.
La verdad que no sé, todavía me dijo que va a haber una declaración y de acuerdo a eso me liberan, me dice.
O taxista vai ser encaminhado juntamente com o rapaz que estava carregando a droga.
Ni creía lo que iba a pasar entonces.
The taxi driver is taken to the station where he will be questioned along with the young man to verify the level of responsibility each party has in this crime. But statistics don't help them. 30% of taxi drivers that are found with drugs in Foz are in connivance with the passenger. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Colombia and Venezuela. Thousands of people pass through the Simón Bolívar International Bridge every day. Most of those crossing are Venezuelans, but due to the conflict between their governments, the rules for passing through have tightened. Only about 5% of Venezuelans manage to enter legally.
Por favor, por acá, señora.
A young 26-year-old woman is trying to cross the bridge with a fake passport, trying to pass as a Colombian citizen. But an agent confiscates the documents along with her real ID and turns it into the customs police.
No le pertenece. Ella venía acompáñame al favor. Mire. Ella es mi manicurista y pues solo por pura flojera eso lo he tomado. Entonces, eso viene de migración. Yo venía era para hacerle las uñas. Mire, yo trabajo haciendo uñas, más nada. Por favor, me acompañe. Yo vengo a hacer trabajo manual de manicurista y entonces yo venía pasando y como no tienen el bendito carnet, pasé con el pasaporte de ella y entonces me están acusando de...
The young woman is agitated. She doesn't want to be detained.
Yo no vine a hacer ni siquiera nada ilegal ni nada que se me parezca. Yo no estoy comprando ni nada.
She tries to stop the police and attempts to convince him to let her go.
Por favor, se lo suplico.
But the agent does not let up on his duty. Feeling trapped by the situation, she stops in the middle of the bridge and asks for the police to return her ID.
Bajamos, acompáñame, hágame el favor. No, entonces vean, no puedo, acompáñame, hágame el favor. Vamos, hablamos con el comandante. No, yo sé, yo no le estoy diciendo que usted venga a hacer algo ilegal. Vamos, me acompañe nomás. Vamos, me acompañe, hablamos ahí con mi cliente y listo. Sí, por eso se llama suplantación.
The tension between the two continues to rise, and when the woman doesn't cooperate, the officer reminds her that she is being accused of a felony.
Pero si ya está delante mío,
ya, vea, vamos allá, le dice a él. Vamos y hablamos con él, ya.
Devuélvame la cédula.
No se la va a volver acá, vamos.
No, yo no voy a ir porque yo no quiero ir detenida. Yo en mi vida he tenido ni siquiera acá un registro de nada, ¿cómo me va a hacer?
Si se pone más difícil, entonces llama al cuadrante acá y es peor.
Will the young woman be detained? Border between Ecuador and Peru. Located in the far north of Peru, the Tumbes Bridge passes over the Tumbes River that forms the natural border between Peru and Ecuador. With there being no customs post here, the Peruvian border agents stop vehicles on the side of the road to avoid contraband from entering. Two men are detained for a routine inspection.
¿Cómo está? Buen día. Ah, no, olvídalo. Sí, boleta de esos venenos, por favor. Es mercancía prohibida. Es ecuatoriano, ¿verdad?
The agent finds containers of Ecuadorian pesticides that are banned in Peru.
Estos agroquímicos tienen que ingresar al Perú mediante medidas restringidas. No es libre su ingreso. Para quemar un poquito más.
Sí, yo te entiendo, pero bueno.
The younger man finds excuses, telling the agent that it's not for sale, but for personal use on his land.
Sí, esto es producto ecuatoriano. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Ya, mira, son 10 de estos.
Esa mercadería nosotros la usamos para trabajar, no es para llevarla a vender.
The officer explains that the Peruvian state prohibits these types of chemicals for being a public health risk. But the man does not see reason and does not understand that he is not only committing a customs violation, but also a sanitary one.
Sí, ya no hay opción a que reclamarlo.
Si desean pueden dejar la mercancía en abandono, eso, pero se está haciendo el acta de todos modos, para que quede constancia de que hay mercancía que es incauta y que va a ir al Estado, no va a ir a ninguna de las personas presentes.
Usted no va a firmar, ¿no? No me lo quieren. Claro.
Angry with the agents and still not understanding the reasons for the confiscation, he marches on, cursing the agents with his friend. The confiscated products can cause infertility, intoxication, and lesions in the nervous system. Border between Colombia and Venezuela. A young Venezuelan girl was stopped by Colombian police for trying to cross the border with her friend's passport.
Y el documento de ella es este.
After trying to frustratingly convince the police to let her go, the jumpy woman decides not to accompany the officer into the customs complex.
Si se pone más difícil, entonces llama al cuadrante acá y es peor. Vamos hasta allá, acompáñame, ¿cómo me va a hacer aquí haciendo show nosotros?
Yo no estoy haciendo show,
¿no?
Simplemente le estoy pidiendo el favor. Como están cobrando tantísimo por sacar el carnet aquí, están cobrando 8.000 bolívares, pues los 8.000 uno lo prefiere pagar aquí haciendo comprando mercado y haciendo a lo que uno viene.
Finally, due to fear of repercussions, the woman decides to follow the officer along with her friend and 2 children. She is frustrated because it would take her 2 months' worth of work to get the Colombian visa and a passport, and that is not counting rent, food, and any other expenses.
Ella tiene 2 hijas. Ella vive sola, madre soltera igual que yo. Yo tengo 2 hijos.
To Venezuelans, a Colombian visa costs about $250, but average monthly salary is only $60. She needs to wait for the decision from the police, but most likely she'll be deported and banned for life from coming into Colombia. These are Latin American hot borders. Latin American hot borders. Border between Brazil and Paraguay. Daily, around 15,000 people cross the Friendship International Bridge that joins Foz de Iguaçu with Ciudad del Este. This Paraguayan city has the highest commercial traffic in all of Latin America. Its free zone, free of taxes and duties, attracts many shopping tourists. Hundreds of buses pass through this border every hour, destined for Brazil.
Aqui por amostragem, fiscalizamos os ônibus que entram no país. São ônibus de empresas, viajantes ou turistas. E por amostragem fizemos uma fiscalização das bagagens.
The officers undergo the searches of the commercial coaches that come from Ciudad del Este. Buses are the desired method for passing merchandise due to the belief that since it's not a particular vehicle, it might have less control.
Por aqui até chegar no fundo. São um biscoitinho. Tudo bom? Boa tarde. Boa tarde. Comprou alguma coisa do Paraguai, senhora?
Não, eu sou paraguaia.
Ah, você é do Paraguai?
É.
Uma noite na bolsa?
É.
Thoroughly searching the packages that the passengers are carrying, the officers make sure there's no item that has been left undeclared. But they do not only check them, it is common for contrabandists to hide merchandise within the bus.
Mercadoria escondida. Geralmente vem droga, arma.
The officer discovers a compartment in the vehicle that has contraband in it. The agent finds some hidden cell phones, probably something a passenger hid inside there, knowing that agents would board the bus. In Paraguay, cell phones can be found up to 35% cheaper than in Brazil, which makes these attempts very tempting.
É comum, às vezes, quando está na fiscalização, eles escondem na lixeira. Vamos ver se conseguimos identificar a pessoa. Não sei se vamos conseguir identificar ainda. É de alguém aqui? Aqui vou perguntar. É de alguém esses aparelhos aqui que estavam na lixeira? É tão rico acá que tem na lixeira, tipo. Bárbaro.
All of the items that are confiscated and handled at the border are then given to the Brazilian government. The cell phones are retained, and the owner has lost the contraband, but they end up being able to continue with the rest of the bus passengers. Border between Colombia and Venezuela. The constant devaluation of Venezuelan money drives many across the border to Colombia in search for cheap merchandise to resell in Venezuela at up to 80% higher than what they bought it for. Two sisters that are over 60 years old are crossing the bridge by foot, and one of the women is carrying many bouquets of flowers. Once the agent spots them, they're asked to stop, but the women act deaf and keep walking. The agent alerts the police.
¿Por qué van a quitar una flor? ¿Por qué van a quitar una flor? ¿Ah?
Ever since the Venezuelan government stopped having sanitary regulations for their meats and vegetables, the Colombian government prohibits for health issues the entry of all Venezuelan meat, flowers, and vegetables of any kind.
¿Cómo nos vamos a devolver? Bueno, es que yo soy colombiana. No, yo no, señora. No. Usted no va a perder, hay que perder esto. No groserando porque aquí, pero como entonces nos vamos a devolver. Yo no estoy diciendo nada. Entonces nos vamos a devolver, mamá. Nos vamos a devolver. Eso es la idea, tienen que aprender a hablar. No se puede ser que no. Yo paso a lo bravo y me metan presa haciendo unas cosas, señor. Porque nosotros merecemos respeto, ¿me entiendes? Nosotros merecemos respeto, ¿cierto? Ah, bueno. Mi mamá se me murió y es la muerte de mi nona. Entonces, venimos acá porque es más económico. Llevamos esto, no encontramos flor, porque esto no es flor, esto es vigas.
Por eso, señora, no podemos permitir el ingreso de esos vegetales.
Ya, nena, ya, no pasa.
No, señora.
The women swear many times that the flowers are for their mother's funeral, but the police cannot let them pass. They must be strict with the sanitary measures.
Pero ¿cómo me voy a devolver? Pero es que mire lo que yo llevo, esta, son 3 paquetes, mire, son 3 paquetitos.
Señora, son 3, la más una cantidad, si llega, ¿qué están pasando? Así van el video.
No, yo no, ante los no, por mi madre linda, que yo no vuelvo a pasar para acá. No vuelvo a pasar para acá porque estoy cansada de las piernas, yo sufro de la columna.
The two sisters cannot pass customs with the flowers, and they return to Venezuela, cursing their luck. They will return and try to get their much-needed money back. All cases presented in this program are real. The people involved are innocent until proven otherwise. Every day, millions of people cross borders trying to make enough money to survive.
Mis hijos me piden que comer y si yo no busco, no, ¿quién les da?
But the main task is to prevent drug trafficking, money laundering.
Porque nosotros merecemos respeto, ¿me entiendes?
The criminals take advantage of the suffering and the desperation of the people in order to conduct business. Crime knows no border, but where there is one, police are there to help stop it. These are Latin American hot borders.